Hi everyone, this is Wendy. The other day I showed everyone that experimental spine journal that I made, which is this one here, with that spine on it there. It is just so cool. Now this isn't my idea. I actually watched Marije's look, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name. It's Marije, Van der Zedde's video, and I got the idea for the spine off her, so thank you so very much. And I just looked at her video and I thought, oh, I can do that. So I kind of like dissected it the best way I knew how. I'm not sure if I done it exactly the same or even if I got close. I think I got close. The concept of seeing that spine there turned out pretty cool. So alright, anyway, I was asked if I could show everyone how I done it. So what I've got here, I've got one of my gutted book covers. This one, I'll give you the measurements, but all your books are different, so, and you might not exactly have the same size as me, but I'll still give you the measurements here. So this is about 8 3/4 inches, which is about 22 centimeters by 5.5 roughly, which is about just under 14 centimeters. So, and the spine on this one is roughly about 4 centimeters, which is about 1.5. Okay, so you need a book that's gutted. You don't really have to reinforce the spine, but I'm still going to reinforce my spine. I've just cut a little piece of chipboard there so that when it does close up, you've still got that nice strong spine on it. Okay, now I've already cut my signatures, my pages for my signature. So the pages to the signature are just going to sit on the back inside of the cover, and these pages are about 4 3/4 by 8 inches, which is about 20 centimeters and about 12.5 centimeters by 12.5 centimeters. Okay, so I'm just going to make 4 signatures. I think I could fit like another 2 in this one, but I'm just thinking I'm just going to try and just do a little basic one with not very many signatures in it. Okay, so with your first signature that's going to go on the top of your book, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 6 pages in each signature, but for the very first one you need like a little cover on something like a sturdy cardboard or something, not just like a flimsy piece of paper. You need like a little sturdy cardboard, because that's where the little strips are going to be sewn on that go around each signature to your bottom signature. Okay, so you need like a little flap, and then after you sew that on, you can like glue your little flap to your very front page, or you can get another page and cover it, extend your little flap if you want to. Okay, so you need like a little flap over your first signature, and I've left a little bit here because that one there will actually act as like a page, and I can just add like a tip-on or something into it in my journal. Okay, and then the other ones, then I've got just 2 normal signatures, and then the last one I've also put another little flap on here. I'm not actually, this side here will be used as like I can staple something on it or just glue on another full page. But you need a back flap that will have the little strips just glued onto it, so that that back flap is going to be glued onto the bottom of your page, and then you can just decorate that with another pattern paper over the top to hold it in nice and sturdy. Okay, so that's kind of like the basics of what you will need. Oh, you will also need I'll just bring my other one back here and show you. With this one here, I've got things ready to go in it. With my little straps, I'm going to call them straps because I really don't know what else to call them. They're like little hinges, I suppose, but I'm going to call them straps. This is like a crocheted, ribbon kind. Oh, not crocheted, like macrame ribbon, and that I've got it stitched onto my little flap here, which I've already glued onto my front page. Okay, so that's stitched onto my little flap here, and if I open this up, you can see that's the back part of this flap here. Okay, so I've already made that into a page. Alright, so I didn't have any of that like macrame ribbon left, but I'm thinking you need something kind of sturdy. I've got this ribbon here that's really strong. It's like a cotton, a nice sturdy cotton ribbon. I'm thinking maybe if you had something a little bit stronger, you could use that too. I don't actually know what Marije's what she used on hers. Sorry, that name gets me. You know what I should do? I should Google the name, shouldn't I? Like just type it in and get them to pronounce it so I know how to pronounce it properly. Alright, so what I've done, I had some of this ribbon here, so I've cut on this one, I think I've only cut 5 strips because that's all I had enough ribbon for. So they're all roughly round about the same size or the same length. Okay, so for the one strip is roughly about 5.5 inches, which is roughly 14 centimeters. Okay, this was all I had left out of that ribbon that I had. I've had this ribbon for quite a while. It's got little owls on it. So all you have to do is just line up your signature and your little strips here and work out where you want them to sit. So I'm not measuring this, I'm just kind of like eyeballing it, so they might be a little bit uneven, I don't know. And with the other one, I went and pinned that on, and then I went and machine stitched just along each one of those. Okay, so but what I'm going to do today, I'm just going to use a dab of glue and just put a little dab of glue on the back of this and just place it down to where I want those to sit. And like, I don't think you could really like glue it down unless you had a really strong glue like that, oh, I don't know what they use over in America, but I'm just putting just a little dab of glue on here just to hold those on, and then I'm going to just machine stitch over the top of them. what is that glue, E6000 or something like that. I suppose that would be strong enough, and you could just glue your little strappy hinge things on. Okay, so that looks a bit wobbly, so I can just move that up a bit before that dries. Spread that out a bit. Okay, so I've got them glued on to my front signature flap, and all I'm going to do now is just do a bit of stitching, most probably zigzag, just down along each one of these, okay, and then I'll be back. Right, I've got those sewn on in a fashion, nothing really fancy. I will just cut these threads off. Okay, so they're my little straps just sewn onto the cover of the first signature. Okay, so I can put that back on there and just make sure it's all lined up nicely. Okay, now I'm just going to move those ones over there. Oh, you might have seen this here. I am going to go and cover the cover as well. I'm going to put the whole journal together, but I've got some of my offcut pieces here, and I've just stitched them all together horizontally, just all like that, and I'm going to actually have that as my covering my spine in there. Okay, so that's what that's sitting there for, so I'll put that just out of the road for a minute. Okay, now with your first signature, this is where it becomes a little bit tricky, and I think sometimes I need another couple of hands. But anyway, I've got some clips here that I'm going to use just to make it a little bit easier. So I'm going to open up that. I might pull all my pages down for a change instead of having them in the center. I'm going to pull them down that way. Okay, so what I've done then, I just clipped on my cover onto the inside of I opened up my signature to get the center, and then I just pressed that little cover that I've just sewn those strips on. I have just clipped that onto, so that's going to be the front of my first signature. Okay, now before I go any further with that, I've got another. You're going to need a template if you want them all of them to line up properly. So I've cut myself a template which it's just a little bit longer than what I actually need, but I've got written up here top, so whenever I go to punch my holes, I'll put this up through to the top of the signature. Okay, so what I did then, I just put my template down here and just marked a point on either side of this strap. Okay, so my first hole's going to go about there, and I just eyeballed it, and my next one's there. This one will go about there, that one will go there, and then this one will go there, and that one will go there, that will go there, and that'll go there, and then the bottom one will go there, and that will go there. Okay, so I've marked my holes, and the holes are going on either side of my strap. So I'm just going to poke them through. Ow. This just makes it easier for me when I go to poke it into my signature. You can like mark the holes and then go and mark them on the inside of your signature, but I just from watching Marije's this is the way she done it. She just had a template, because I think she makes quite a few of these. Okay, alright, so now I've got my holes marked. I'm going to put that inside my first signature, and remember I've got to put it right to the top up here, so I can just hold that in with a clip, and I think I can hold the bottom in as well. Just make sure I push them all together. Okay, and I can hold the bottom in there, and now I can just go and punch my holes through my signature, and just try not to pick up your strap, like punch a hole through your strap, because I done that the other day and I thought, what's going on, where's my awl gone? And it had gone into the into that macrame ribbon that I used. Okay, so I'm punching my holes in, like that. There. I'm nearly done. There, and I've got the last one to do now. Why am I having trouble with that one? There. And the last one here. Okay, holes are punched in. I am going to just remove this now, my template, because I don't want to sew that into my signature. I want to use it for the next ones. And I'll just grab some, I use crochet cotton for my stitching of my spines, so I'm just going to grab like 1, 2. I don't really need that much because you actually tie them off. Well, that's what I done. So just thread my needle. Okay. Now I'm going to just put a loose knot in there. Now what you have to do, I started from the inside. This is where I really need more thumbs, but I start from the inside right down the bottom, and I went out through the inside to the outside, and then I went back in the next one here, back in to the inside. Now this is the part I wasn't really sure of how she actually done it. So I kind of like just made up my own. Because I left a little loose knot there, I put my needle back through that little loose knot, okay, back through there, and held that part there, and I pulled that tight, okay, and then just pulled that together like that, and then I just gave it another little knot just on top of that I'd just done then. Okay, so that is all the start of the stitching of these little straps on. Okay, I'll show you again in the next one how I done that. I'll bring it a bit closer for you, I think. Okay, so then we just go up to the next hole and go out there, and then we go in on the other side of that strap, the ribbon strap. What are we doing? Okay, and just pull that rather tight, so you can see how the ribbon is getting sewn underneath your twine that you're using, or my crochet cotton. So we go out there and just keep it nice and tight. And then we go in on this side here, oops, come on, and just make sure that that is underneath there, which it is, and then we'll go out through this one. Now with this signature here, the paper I've got in here, it's actually a little bit stronger than what I used on the first one that I done. So you can use any type of paper for your signature. And put that through there. That was right at the end of that one. Okay, pull that nice and tight there, and then through the top one up here. And then through that hole there. And just pull it rather nice and tight over those the strands there. And then all I done when I got up here, I can take that off now. All I done was I just went in under that stitch there and just made a knot. Okay, so I went there, done it once, done it twice, and just pulled it nice and tight and made just like a knot there, and then just cut that off. Okay, so that's how it is. Pretty easy. Like when I first done it, I was kind of like all thumbs because I didn't know if I had to hold these straps down or anything like that. Okay, but that's how it's done. So you've got your first signature sewn onto the cover that has the straps sewn here by machine, and then looped over each individual strap here, and that's the stitching inside. Okay, alright, so I'll get the second signature. Now this one here is going to go just straight on the back of this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is just punch my holes in the center of it. So I'm going to line that up there and just put a clip there and one there to just hold it, and just go and punch my holes in the spine, okay, in the middle of the signature. Oops. Now, like I said before, I'm not sure if this is exactly the proper way to do it, but this is how I thought that you do it after I watched Marije's video. Okay, I should have had a look to see if she actually had an English talking version of how to do it. I didn't even think of that, because she does come from the Netherlands. Okay, so then we just put our next signature on here, on the back of that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to clip my second signature onto my first one, just to hold it all together. I'm going to remove that template. Okay, so just want to make sure I get that nice and even, and I'm just going to clip my second signature onto my first one. Okay, so now have I got enough? Look, I've got enough crochet cotton to come in to do another signature. I'll bring you in a bit and hopefully I can stay in shot so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll just put my ruler, oops, sorry guys, I'll just put my ruler right there, which tells me I can't go down any lower than that. Hopefully. Okay, so what I done to start with, I done a loose loop just like that and left it. Okay, then I go into the bottom signature down here and push it out to the end, pull that through, not too tight because you've got your open loose knot there. Okay, and then I went in that one there and brought that to the inside and just made sure that I had the stitching over my strap. Okay, so then I just opened that up and put my needle through my loop there and just pulled that nice and tight and pulled my knot nice and tight there, and then I just gave that another knot on top. Oops. Okay, so I've got like a double knot just there, and you can leave that long or you can just snip it off. Okay, so then it's just a matter of looping up all those straps. So we go out there and then we go in this one. So we go in this one over that strap and pull it tight, and then for the next one, there, and in that one, and pull it nice and firm. Then over there, then in that one, and just check to make sure I've got that. See, I could have gone a little bit wider, I think, here on that hole, but that's okay. Alright, and we'll just do the last one. We go in there, pull it through, and we just put that in the last hole just there. Okay, and make sure that it's over that strap there. Okay, so I've got them all hooked up now. Okay, and then I'll just open that up and go under there. Make sure it's pulled nice and firm, and do a little knot, and then just another one for good luck over there, and do another little knot, and then just cut that off. Okay, alright, so that is two of my 4 signatures on. Looks pretty cool so far. I would love to know what the actual like strapping thing is that you use, but I'm thinking anything that's like strong enough that's not just going to fray or anything like that. So that's why I'm thinking this like cotton ribbon type stuff would be good. Okay, so on to my next signature, which is this one here. I've got like a half a page here and some other pages there. So what I'm going to do first is just bring in my template and line it up to the top up there, and I'm going to clip that in there and clip this one onto there, and then just punch my holes. Okay, so I've got that in there. I've just come back from having a little bit of lunch, so you'll have to excuse that little pause for a minute. Okay, so I've got that in there, and I'm just going to poke my holes through. That makes it easier when I start to sew. I'm up to the middle ones now, or the middle one. Oops, nearly stuck it in my finger. And the last one down here. Okay. So they're on. Now before I take that off, I'm just going to do the same as what I've done before and line this up with my second signature that went on, and then just adjust my clips. I'll go around this way because I've got a smaller paper in there. Okay, and I've got them on there now. Okay, so I've got that signature ready to be sewn in too. and I will need a little bit more crochet cotton. So if I just do another 2, 1 and a bit, that'll give me enough for the last signature to go on too. Okay, and thread my needle. And where am I there? I'm threading my needle, I'm threading my needle a lot better now, because I was watching Sonia Steptoe thread hers and putting it between my thumb and forefinger, it makes such a difference. Okay, so I've put my little loop in the end there, and I'm going to go into my bottom hole down here on my 3rd signature and push that through. Okay, I just don't want to lose that little loop I've got there, and then go, whoops, sorry, then go over the top of that what was I calling it? Oh, I can't remember now. Good one. Go out for lunch and forget everything. Yep, that happens. Come on, come through. Okay. Now make sure that goes over the top of that that ribbon there, which it's over the top, and then I just grab my little loop. You don't have to do it this way, you could just tie it normally, but I just thought this just pulls it nice and taut, like that, and just gives you a nice little knot there at the end. Okay, and I'll just do another little loop down the bottom here, and I missed it completely. That's got it. There, now I can pull. Okay, and then just go and do what we were doing before. Go into the next hole up on one side of the ribbon, pull it, and then just go in over this side here and through into, what am I doing? Okay, through, hang on. Got to find my holes. Right, and push that. Why isn't that going through? Come on. Ah, there's always got to be one, doesn't there? I can't find this side hole. I did push it through, didn't I? Oh, just go in. There, I got it in, but I don't think it went in the same hole. There we go. Okay. Just make sure that's straight before I pull it tight. Okay. Alright, now into the next hole. Move my ruler now because I'm not in close, or close as what I was before, and through this one here, and back. Oh, come on. It's like my fingers don't want to work after lunch. Just make sure that's straight. Now into the third hole. Oh, not the third, the next hole. And through this one. Okay, got that. I really am giving myself a bit of a hard time here. Okay, that's on, and the last one up the top here. Oops, it's caught over the page. Pull it nice, tight, and back through this hole here. Okay, alright, so that's the third signature on, and just pull these strands just a bit firmer. Right, make sure that's nice and tight looking, and just going to do a loopy knot through there. And just pull it nice and firm, and another knot over the top of that. Okay, so that's that one in, and snip. Okay, so I'll just check. So there's the three there. And like you could just pull that out a little bit more too. Make sure they're straight. And you can pull them a bit tighter as well. Okay. Alright, I have one more to go. Now this is the last signature I'm going to put in here. And I've got one of the little cover panels on. So this side is going to go on this side here, and I've got that longer panel there that is going to have these, and these are going to be glued to it down like that. Okay, but first of all I shall put my holes in. So I've got my little template, and I'm just going to line that up at the top up here, and just clamp that down just like that, and poke my holes through. And this is going to be a bit harder to put through because of that extra bit of cardboard there. It's like a lightweight cardboard there, but it's nice and sturdy, if you know what I mean. There. So that's the centre, poking the holes through the centre one, and then we just go down here to the bottom ones. Sorry, I'm not actually showing you the holes on the inside, but you kind of like understand. So the last hole's this one down here, and I just fold it back over a bit. Alright, and now we've just got to match that up with the last signature we put on. right like that. Oh, hang on, I'll take that this out first, my template. So I've taken my template out, and I'm just going to pick up some of that last signature and just clamp that onto there. Now I've got one here, page that's actually shorter than the other pages, so I'm just going to see, might just put this clamp on here and press those down just to try and hold that page there. Okay, and grab my crochet cotton and put the little loop in the end. Just make sure that's nice and straight. Yep. And go in at the bottom hole, which is about there. There. And pull that through, and then go in this side of that hole into the center, and pull that through. Oh, come on. Right, okay. So I'll just make sure, see, look how that's just twisted up. So I'll just move that over a bit. I think that one has to come down just a fraction. Just let me, that just seems to need to come down just a tad. Okay. There. Now, back to here. Okay, and in the center, just put my needle through the little loop. And to do this, I just hold that the end thread there on the loop, and I just pull it tight, and it just kind of like knots together. So I want it pretty tight. Okay, and then I'll just do another loop, another little knot on here. Okay, so we've got the start of that done, and I just have to twist this up a bit. Okay, I think this last one just needs to come down a fraction. Look, I'm not going to do it now. I will adjust it before I tie it off up the top here. Okay. Okay, so we put this through the hole. Yeah, see, I can tell it just needs to come down a fraction because of the holes aren't, the ribbon isn't quite in the center of where I'd marked those holes. But I will adjust it when I just get them all sewn on. Oops. And through these holes here. You can see how it's pulling up a bit on all of these, but that's okay. I will adjust that. I'll go through. And through this one. and the last lot of holes here. And put that there and go over the strap. Okay, alright, I've got all this holes sewn, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these clamps off now, and I'm just going to adjust this back signature. Okay, so we've got it there. Okay, now that looks a lot better, doesn't it? See, I've brought the signature down a fraction on the right hand side, and that ribbon has, the holes have gone on either side of the ribbon now. Okay, much better. Alright, so now I can just lay that down there and just pull it just a bit tighter, and then just go in here and tie my knot. Whoops, tie my knot there. Okay, so there's that, and just one more for luck. Okay, so there, that's how I sewed the signatures on the spine, and that's what it looks like now. It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Now all I'd done was, with these straps here, I grabbed my glue, and if you want to, just before you glue these back ones down, if you wanted to like adjust this, you either pull them like a bit tighter, or you can actually loosen in between your signatures. I'm thinking if you have it a bit looser, it works better if you're going to collage bulky stuff in your signatures, but I think I might just leave mine just as they are now. Maybe adjust this one again. Is that this ribbon here just twisted over a fraction, so I'm just going to just pull that out a bit. I don't know, I think I might have had those two holes just a little bit too close, but that's okay. Alright, so they look pretty good. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just glue these onto the back panel. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue along each one of these, just mainly to hold them. I'll do this one first. So then that just gets glued down to there, and that one down onto here. They're a little bit long, but that's okay, you can just trim those off. And that one onto there. And that one onto there, and that one onto there. Now, okay, so I've got those glued onto this back, the back cover panel, and I've put glue all on my signature page there, and I'll just rub off. I will just trim these down. Just take the ends of this off. Okay, and that's sewing your signatures in together. Okay, So all the signatures are now in your journal, are sewn together. I love the way that looks. Okay, so I've got what, 4 signatures? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got 4 signatures. And now I'm going to get the cover ready. I'm actually going to do the cover as well. So I've just got I've got a strip here that I might just put a bit of I had a bit of calico here. What do I do with it? Here it is. Oh, it's not really calico, it's bit of just measuring up that spine there. Oh, it is a bit of calico. It's a piece that my grandson was practicing his sewing on. So I've got that, and all I'm going to do, I just want the ends of my my spine insert covered, so I'm just going to put a bit of glue on this side and a little bit on that side, and I'm just going to put some calico. I'm just going to push it over the top like that, okay, so you won't really see that chipboard when you're looking at the top or the bottom. Okay, so just going to put that there and that there. Now I'm just going to glue in pardon me, glue in my spine. Now you don't really have to do this if you're going to, like, I really wouldn't have to, because I've got the nice thick cardboard that I'm going to decorate my spine with anyway, but I want to do it just so that I've got a nice strong spine. So I'm going to press that into there, just make sure it's nice and even. Okay, so I've got a nice sturdy spine here, and I'm not sure if you're going to see, like in there, you just see that top bit of calico, top and bottom. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on here for my spine. I want to cover the outside too. I might just let that go for a minute. Sorry about that, guys. And I'll just grab a piece of paper that I want the outside covered in. I'm just having a look now. Something a bit quirky or a bit different. Oh, I like that. That's nice. Okay, so is that going to fit that? That's going to go right to the edge. I wonder if I could get away with that. Maybe not. Okay, so I've got the my spine in. So what I'm going to do now, before I do anything else, I know that needs to dry, but I'm just going to keep going. I have got some really jazzy pattern papers here that I'm going to cover this in, and it's like 12 by 12, but I don't actually have enough for this. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to cut my 12 by 12 paper in half. So which way do I want it to go? I actually might have it going that way. Alright, so I'm going to cut this down to 6 inches. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces at 6 inches. and this is going to go on this side here like that, and this one with the pattern there is going to go on that side like that. So I've got a little bit so that I can fold over, but I do need a piece for in the center here, which I think I might let that go for a minute and just do these first. Okay, so just going to line that up there, that one, and that can go there, and I'll just bring this one in a little bit more to about there. Okay, so that's going to sit right there. Okay, so I'm just going to lift this up and put some glue on here. Okay, so I've got a little bit of glue there, and then I'm just going to put that back down on there and do the same on this side here. Put a bit of glue on it. And lay that out on there. So when I pick that up, I've got the front and the back. So this one here is pretty straight, this one here looks a tad crooked, so I'm just going to move that over a little bit up at the top, and that looks straighter. Okay, and I've still got to put something on there for the spine, but I'm going to cut my corners. And I'm just, when I cutting this down here, I'm just leaving a little fraction there so that I don't cut right into the corner. I've got just a little bit left over. Okay, so that's that. That looks okay. Now I'm just going to fold these all in and over. Okay, I might use some double-sided tape for this, just make it go a bit faster, and I don't have to wait for any glue to dry properly. This will just hold the paper down until the glue does dry, and I can keep working. And this one. And a strip along here, and a strip along there. Okay, so pardon me, I'm going to do the side ones first. So just take the backing off each of these and then add some glue as well, because it's mainly to hold it down, and then just press that onto there. And I'll do this side here as well. and some glue. And press that up over onto there. Okay, now I'll do up here. I'm just going to pinch in these corners here. Oh, sorry, you can't see. I'm just going to pinch in these corners and take that glue, that backing off there, put a bit of glue on here and fold that up, which I haven't folded before, but that's okay. So just work that up like that and press that down. Okay, and you've got a nice covered corner there as well. Okay, so that's the front so far, and I might just clip that down while it's still drying. Okay, and do these ones. Oops, add a bit of glue. Fold it up. And this one. Bit of glue and fold that one down. And then just this one here. And fold that up there. And I'll just tuck those corners in a fraction. Just there. Okay. In there, and fold that on there and grab a clip. That'll do. Okay, all right, so that's the start of my cover. I was just thinking, I think I'm going to put some lace on here, so that doesn't really worry me being like that at the moment. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I think I need to just trim it down a bit. So that's there. I'll just grab a pencil, and it just needs to have a fraction taken off there, and I'll just use my, oh, I got a new blade. I'll just quickly open it. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off that where I marked that little strip there. Oh, doesn't a new blade cut wonderfully? And I might just trim these sides up as well, and then I won't have to cut those threads off because it'll all come off at the same. So I'm just going to trim this up. I've got it straight along the bottom here, I think, and just going to straighten down these sides here. Okay, put that over there, might use that for something else. So got that one, and this side here, which are just about there, I think. Okay, and put them over there. So now all I'm going to do is cover my spine here. I've just trimmed this up, okay, and I'm going to have to put some more glue on it because it's I put the glue on it before I realised what I was doing. So I'm just going to run some more glue on this here now, and hopefully I can piece these together properly without showing my little faux pas. Okay. Okay, so this is going to go over my spine and a little bit over the front and the back. So that's going to go about there and about there. Okay, so while I've got that on now, I'm just going to gently work the crease in here and also on this side here. Okay, just work that in and just crease it up a bit, so when you fold it up, that's going to look so cool. Okay, so fold it up, looks good. Fold that up, looks good. Okay, and fold them both up together. Looks wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Alright, now I'm going to remove that, and I'll just leave that on the front for the time being. Now I've got my signatures, and all I'm going to do is glue this part here onto the base, onto the bottom of my I'm going to glue that on there like that, onto the inside cover, sorry. Okay, so what I did was lined up, I just folded that and I just lined up that, because I don't want my spine poking out over the fold, otherwise it's not going to close your book properly. So you can do it this way. I've got the spine just nicely pressed up against this spine here of the cover, and that is what I'm going to do now. So just more or less going to flip that over, and I'm going to put glue on here, and I'm putting it over those ribbon flaps as well. Okay, now I'm just going to line that up again. So lift that up and just fold that so that I can see that crease on the bottom, and this is going to be put just about there. I suppose I've left about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch so that the spine just nicely touches, the spine of the signatures just nicely touches that there. Okay, I mean the spine here. Alright, so that looks pretty good. I like that. So I really should just wait for this to dry a bit with the glue, but what I'm going to do now is cut the inside front and back panel. Okay, so I want a piece that's about, I'll do it in inches. I want just not quite a big border. I think it might be 5 by just 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 8 and 6, I don't know. Look, in centimetres it would be 25, 6, 7, 8, 28 centimetres, which whatever that is in inches, it's not quite 8 3/4, not quite 8 3/4. Okay, so on the inside, let's pick another piece of paper. I'm using this Crafter's Choice flat abstract paper, so something a bit, I don't know, a bit different. I like that. No, green stripes, I like that too. Pink, no, I don't know. Maybe something like that. Cut off a panel of that. Oh, I like the black and white here, so I might grab that, I think. That'll do. Okay. And my cutting board. Now I can't even remember what I said. Good one, Wendy. Okay, so it's about, okay, we'll say 13 centimetres. So I'll just cut this at 13 centimetres because I've got both on this cutter. Okay, so that's 13 centimetres. And instead of measuring, I will just put this on here to see where I want it to go. So it'll go there, and I'm just going to mark it with my pencil. If I find out where I put my pencil. Oh, there it is, hiding. Okay, so I'm just going to mark that just about there and cut it. Okay, cut that there. So I will actually need 2 of those. So I've got one there, and before I measure the other one, I'll just use this one here and see if that looks about right for there. That does. See, that's going to go over that part panel that I glued down with the strips on it, and I'm just going to glue that one right onto there, and then that just folds back over there. Okay, so I'll cut another one of those panels, which was at 13 centimetres. Is it 13? Yes, 13 centimetres, and just put that back up there again and mark this down here and cut there on the mark. So there was really no need for me to give you like the measurements, because your book could be smaller or bigger than what mine actually is. Okay, and I might put some, what's the name on here? Double-sided tape. Oops. On the back of these, and I'll also put some glue on there too. The double-sided tape's really just to hold that down. until my glue dries. Okay, so I'll do this one on the front one first. And a bit of glue. Okay, and this can go just on here. So make sure I've got that roughly straight all around. Yep, and press that down. Okay. Okay, and that will fold up nicely there. I love that. I love the little jazzy spine, inside spine. That looks pretty cool. And do the same for this one here. I'll just use some double-sided tape on here. I think I'm out of shot, guys, so I won't. I'm just putting some double-sided tape on the back of this pattern paper for the back inside cover. Okay, we'll pull that off. Paper's in the bin, put a bit of glue on here. Whoops, sorry, hit the camera, hit the tripod. Come on, don't mess up on me now. You are my friend. Just wipe this off. Little cloggy nozzle, I think. There we go, and she squirts out. Okay, right, some glue on that. Now go to the back here. I don't know what that glue's doing there, it should be thrown out. And we just line this up as straight as I can. So that's about that there. How's that going there? Oh, that looks okay. Make sure that's straight here. So just pull that around a bit that way. Okie doke. Okay, that's it. And that is the signatures, all nice and secure on the back inside cover of your, of your journal, of your cover. I got no idea what I'm saying, and there you have it. Like, look at that, all done. So that looks really good. This one here, it seems to be a lot tighter than the first one I done. But the nice thing about it is if I've just used like a plain cardstock, so you could see it easier what I was doing. But if you use like decorative covers on each signature, you get a really cool pattern. I am going to have to just clamp this down here until it dries properly. So I did do that with the last one too, because I don't want the signatures ripping up that page until it's actually dry. Okay, so I'm just going to clamp down there as well. But that's it, guys. That's how I done that. I called it an experimental signature. But these ones are they feel a lot firmer than my other one. I'll just bring my other one back and show you if I can without, because I've got stuff inside this here. Just let me move this stuff here. I've got stuff ready for a page to do inside the page. This one here was a little bit, you can see it wobbles a lot more, but that was the first one I done. So maybe if I had pulled the strands a bit tighter, it wouldn't wobble so much, but that's okay. That was my first one and I really enjoyed doing that. And I enjoyed doing this one too. See, I did have a fiddle with these strands here, and you can look, see if I move that, that's not as wobbly as what the other one is. Okay, alright, so that's it. That is, oh, I've still got the outside to do. I think I'm just going to put some lace down here. So I'll have a quick look and see what I've got here. I want some of that that nice decorative lace. That might be wide enough. Let me have a look at that. I'll just turn this over. May as well get it all done now while I'm here. You can like hang around or just finish. So I've got some lace here, but I might put a little strip of the calico down first, okay? Just for, I don't know, something different. So just got to cut this open. My grandson was practicing his hand stitching. I was showing him how to just do like basic stitching, and he used this, he sewed these two pieces of calico together. Okay, so is that bit long enough? Maybe, yep. Alright, so I'll just snip that there and cut that. And I'll just snip this end. So that's going to go down there up to, how big? Up to about there, I think. Okay. Righto. So I'll just move these for a moment and put some glue along here and down there. And just put my piece of calico down, like center it up for front and back. It's a bit crooked. Let's have a look. Okay, that looks pretty good. Just close that up for a minute. that looks good. And now I'm just going to put that little bit of lace straight over the top of it. So I'll just cut that off, something a bit different. So I'll snip that off there. I think that's the outside. Okay, and just put a bit of glue on the inside here, down along there. Now, which side do I like better? So that side, I like this side here better. Okay, and that's just going to go along the spine there. So when we close it up, just make sure that's straight. Okay, so might put a bit of glue under here. And just glue those little flappy bits down there. And do the same on this side here. And just glue those pieces there. Okay, I'm getting glue all over my hands and I don't like it. Okay, and what was the front and what was the back? That's the front. Okay, and just put a little bit of glue on here to put that part down as well. Okay, so oh, and I've got too much glue on that. Okay, might be able to get that glue off, rub it off, make it dirty. Good one, Wendy. Oh, I'll get that off later. Sitting here, scrub that off because I've got it all on my fingers too. Okay, so there's that, and just a little bit under here to hold that down. Okay, so that's it. Wow, I can't believe I've done all of that at once. See, I've got more glue on this side too now. Okay, let's just wipe this down and get rid of some of these strands of glue and everything there. Alright, so that's it, guys. There's that that journal with that like experimental spine that Marije, I don't know, I can't pronounce her name. I'm so sorry for that, sweetie. I really am. Okay, so that's it, and there's all the signatures and the papers in it, and I love the way it lies flat no matter where you do it. And I'll just put those clips back on that in a minute. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you understood it. Let me know if you understood. I might have been a bit too close all the time, was I? Gosh. I come in for a close-up and then forget to put it out. But yeah, that's it. And I'll go and scrub this off and try and get that excess glue off of that. If I can't, I'll just put a flower there. Okay, so that's it. That's a whole journal done. It looks pretty cool, and that's the back of it. but I am going to put those clips on because I want that pressed down before so it dries properly. Okay, thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you understood that at all. I hope you did. Like I said, I just done it. I was watching her channel and I just loved what she was doing, and I thought, oh, can I do that? I'm going to try. So I did. And I'm really not sure if I have done it properly, but I really did like the outcome of this one here. Okay? Alright, you all have a great day, and I will catch you later. Let me know what you think, guys. Okay, bye-bye.